very interesting show. All right, we will go straight into the headlines of the newspapers. So many of them, and later during the second half of the show, we will come back for some analysis. And we start off from the cable newspaper now. Gunmen kill lady filming attack on Ngige's convoy in Anambra State. That's a very sad story there. And Jonathan returns to Nigeria after military takeover in Guinea-Bissau. NNPC reduces petrol price to 900 naira per litre in Lagos, while it's 940 naira per litre in Abuja. It's official. El-Rufai formalizes ADC membership months after ditching APC for SDP. All the stories you can find on the front page of the cable newspaper. Still staying with the cable newspaper, MBS says Nigeria generated 4.76 trillion naira from company income tax. All right, we move on to the Punch newspaper now. Our Safe School project stalls in 30 states as abduction rise. Okay. Baba Ahmed faults Tinubu's security emergency, says government missed the point. Federal government states must provide free basic education, court rules. And 160,000 Lagos residents living with HIV, that's from the Lagos State government. And Nesro seals 6 Ogun recycling facilities over environmental abuse. And still staying with the Punch newspaper, NAF, that's the Nigerian Air Force, promotes 57 senior officers. And VIPs move to engage NSCDC after 11,000 policemen's recall. 50 Nigerians arrested in Indian drug bust. Wow. 50 Nigerians arrested in Indian drug bust. And NNPCL spends 17.5 trillion naira securing fuel pipelines, others in 12 months. And business leaders reject proposed beverage tax hike. All right, the Vanguard newspaper is next now. And insecurity in Nigeria not ripe for private individuals to bear arms. And back to Guinea-Bissau, Jonathan returns as AU ECOWAS decry coup. Okay, Guinea-Bissau's lawless president has no business in office. This is by Owe Lakemfa. And Nigeria, Denmark push One Health to tackle AMR food safety climate threat. We move on to the Tribune now. Guinea-Bissau coup, Nigeria confirms Jonathan's safe exit. And the Tinubu's government breaks silence on military coup in Guinea-Bissau. FG SPA reforms producing results. That's from the minister there, Adelabu. And Oyetola calls for stronger partnership among CILT and others. This day newspaper is an export now. Rwanda forecast election spending to drive 2026 economic outlook. And Tinubu names Ribadu to lead US-Nigeria Joint Working Committee. And deaths from Lassa fever hit 184, with 995 confirmed cases. This is coming from the NCDC. Lokobri inspects AEB headquarters as unveiling of $5 billion bank nears. And Sanwo-Olu Fagbemi, NBA president, warned Africa risk losing billions without strong ADR. We move on to the Nation newspaper now. World Bank canvasses slash of import tariff to lower inflation. And the Vice President Shettima lead eminent guest to one IPI Nigeria's 2025 conference. An FCC boss Oladile Lords Tinubu's massive police army recruitment drive. Federal government urges youth on automotive innovation. And AU ECOWAS say no to coup in Guinea-Bissau. And Nigeria-US joint working group to hold security talks. Reps summon BPP budget office, others for evading power sector probe. The stories you can find on the front page of the Nation newspaper. We move on to the Sun newspaper now. Again, bandits hit Niger. And Wike terminates re-awards Apo Karashi contract. FCTA begins work on Kubwa Buhari Road. Insecurity, government playing politics with citizens' lives. That's from a former presidential candidate for the SDP. Stakeholders stress importance of vision value for women enterprises. Federal government condemns coup d'etat in Guinea-Bissau. Next is the Guardian newspaper now, and the paper leads with the story: one dead as Ngige escapes attack on convoy, another injured. And Jonathan returns to Abuja after evacuation from Guinea-Bissau. There is price for betrayal, Kwankwaso tells defected lawmakers and supporters. Gates Foundation commits $1.4 billion to help smallholder farmers climate adaptation. NEPC launches campaign against using system production. Okay. Senate to end police retirees pension ordeal. And police nab 2 hoodlums for killing inspector in Ondo State. Lagos one-chance robbers attack Guardian TV boss, steal valuable assets. And still on that, FG LASU, Lagos State government move to end open defecation by 2030. And police debunk video of planned attack on Ogun, probe culprits. And police launch manhunt for killer of women in Ondo Hospital. Still on the Guardian, revenue from CIT rises to 2.78 trillion naira in second quarter. All right, we move on to New Telegraph now. And from the Minister of Information is saying, okay, before that, Nasarawa targets 1.2 million bags of rice from Jangari farms. And on Trump's threat, Boss Mustafa urges Tinubu government to explore diplomacy. Minister of Information is saying, use communication to promote Nigeria. And Shettima to lead eminent guests to IPI Nigeria's 2025. And Senator Lalong mourns passing of Sheikh Dairub. CBN directs banks others to withdraw non-compliant advertisement. And Oji Kalu head Senate ad hoc committee to probe Safe School initiative. Code of Conduct Tribunal 6 judges retirement age at 75. And Senate assures police retirees of exit from contributory pension scheme. All right, we move on to penpushing.com now. Former President Goodluck Jonathan evacuated from Guinea-Bissau following military coup. And still on penpushing.com, hoodlums stab police inspector to death in Ondo State. A woman found dead after lodging in popular Ondo hotel. Lover flees. Okay, these are stories you can find on the front page of penpushing.com. And still on penpushing, terrorists kidnap 4 pregnant women, 16 others in Niger State. And finally on penpushing.com, El Rufai officially joins African Democratic Congress. And for more on that, you can check out the front page of penpushing.com, your source of authentic news globally. All right, we'll take a short break now. When we return, Mr. Salma Salami is already in the studio, ready for the second half of the show. It's still Super Citizen Newspaper Review on 93.7 FM Abuja. Please don't go away. The program returns in a moment.
Make we join our hearts to build a nation of our dream. Your problem is my problem and my joy is your joy. Make we join our hearts to build a nation of our dream. Your problem is my problem and my joy is your joy. Epa!
Wake up, Abuja. Rise and shine. Get ready to start your day on Sunrise at Citizen. Sunrise at Citizen 93.7. Join us from 5 a.m. to 12 noon as we bring you the latest news, trending topics, and the most music to kickstart your day. From politics to entertainment, sports to lifestyle, we've got you covered. Don't miss out on our interactive segments, contests, and giveaways that will keep you engaged and entertained. Start your day with a smile. So, set your alarms and wake up to the best morning show in the city. Sunrise at Citizen 93.7 FM, Abuja's go-to station for news, entertainment, and more. Sunrise at Citizen 93.7 FM, 5 a.m. to 12 noon, Monday to Friday. Let's get this day started.
It ain't a man's world. No more sugar and spice.
And everything. Every woman has a voice, and every voice deserves to be heard. Listen to She Factor every Monday.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. It's still Super Citizens on 93.7 Newspaper Review on Citizen FM Abuja. Thank you for joining us again on the second half of the show. And this is where we look at some of the stories in details. The phone lines are also open now. You can join the conversation. You can call us on 0903 2229797. That's 0903 2229797 or 80818222205. That's 0818222205. And yes, you can also send us a WhatsApp message on any of the two numbers if you don't want to make a voice call. So, Mr. Salami is right in the studio. Good morning, Mr. Salami.
Good morning to you, Lawrence Umweti, and our Super Citizen listeners. And let me quickly add, happy Friday.
All right, yay! This is the day we have been waiting for. It's a Friday, and as usual, my generous boss is going to declare happy hour for all of us here in the studio. All right, back to business. Mr. Salami, let's start with the story on the front page of The Guardian. This story has been trending in the last couple of days since the outbreak of the news of a coup in Guinea-Bissau. And remember that our former president was also a member of ECOWAS and AU team in that country there. So, Jonathan returns to Abuja after evacuation from Guinea-Bissau. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has returned to Abuja after he was evacuated from Guinea-Bissau following the outbreak of a military coup. Jonathan arrived at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja. The former president was seen descending the stairs of a Guinea-Bissau government aircraft on Thursday in a viral video. Jonathan was in Guinea-Bissau as head of the West African Elders Forum election observation mission to monitor last Saturday's presidential and legislative elections before Wednesday's military action to remove the government. This is Salami.
Once again, good morning to our Super Citizen listeners. And if I may say, this is a very bad or sad commentary for the continent or the West African sub-region. Sad in the sense that democracy has been truncated. We keep on saying it, that whatever form of government human beings have ever evolved, democracy is still the best. The worst of democracy is still better than the best of authoritarianism. The military, by their mandate
And training and orientation,
are not designed to govern. That is not their job. It is utter lawlessness and it is unconstitutional. It should not be encouraged. I think the West African standby force should do what is necessary.
which is
Of course, you know what we are all talking about. Well, I do not think this is a good development. Up to today, we have not solved that of Burkina Faso and Mali. In actual fact, they threatened and they did carry out their threat. They left the ECOWAS Union. And now, Guinea-Bissau. What still? Our former president, President Jonathan, as the head of election monitoring team, was trapped. When you analyze, when you read the story that he was evacuated, I wanted to get my dictionary to look at the meaning of evacuation. No, it is really, really not a particularly funny situation. But this is where we have found ourselves. And God forbid bad thing. Assuming something unto us had happened to the former president, what would have happened? Your guess is as good as mine.
Well, we thank God that nothing untoward happened. We are happy that our former president and other members of the eminent elders group are safe and out of Guinea-Bissau. And just like Mrs. Salami, just like you said, history is replete with a number of countries that end up like what Burkina Faso is starting. I remember the first plot is that when there is a military outbreak, especially if the government before then was maybe unpopular, there is celebration by citizens, everybody comes out and celebrate. And 6 months later, when the euphoria dies and the reality begins to dawn, and you know that you're going back to square one. No matter the propaganda, no matter what you do, just give yourself 1 or 2 years. The reality will be on everyone in that community, because, as you said, it is really not the military's forte to govern a democratic space. The military is trained to deter external aggression. The military is trained to quell insurrection and so many other things like that. And democracy is a different kettle of fish altogether. You need to imbibe the culture of negotiation, give and take, and so many other things. And that's on one side. On the second side, Mrs. Alami, I think it's time, as citizens of the African continent, maybe we need to sit down and talk to ourselves about leadership, about how we intend to govern ourselves. Our leaders across the continent are really not the best examples across. It's either when they are in government, they don't feel like living again. Even when they are on the verge of that, they still cling to power, using all manner of policies, all manner of methods just to cling to power. If they are not doing that, they are plundering the resource of the continent. Africa as a continent has no business with poverty, because God has so blessed us with natural resources, human resources, the weather is beautiful, and so many other things. The gift of nature is domiciled in Africa. But why are we still regarded as the dark continent? Something I read about some 50 years ago, 100 years ago, when Africa was described as the dark continent. Up to today, the activities, the behaviors of our leaders over the years across the continent does not show any sign, apart from the sprinkling of 1 or 2 or 3 that you can point of, the Nelson Mandelas, the Julius Nyereres of this continent. Others, at the end of the day, they may start well, and before you know it, they become something else.
Well, I think I will repeat myself that the fault is not in our stars. It's in ourselves. You see, it's unfortunate that the leadership crisis is compounded. Compounded in the sense that even the followership, they are not better. You see, until Africans make up their minds as to what they want Africa to look like, I keep on wondering why Africans rejoice at jackpine, quote and unquote. I told a younger brother yesterday that why are you thinking about jackpine? You want to jackpot.
That is travel out of the country.
To travel out of the country. Lebanese are coming in droves.
They know what they are getting.
When foreigners are trooping in,
Indians, Chinese,
and they are making fortunes, yet you, the son of the soil, your own is to jackpot. Precisely what are you going to do there? Do you think that the streets of UK or the US is littered
with gold?
With gold, my dear, what you intend to go and do in the US and UK or any other European country, if you apply yourself reasonably right here, right, do you know that some people will sell, do this, do that, and at the end of the day, they will have about 50 or 30, 20 million, and the next thing is you want to travel abroad. Is it not madness?
Well, Mrs. Salami, may not be for some people. Mrs. Salami, the truth of the matter is that, yes, while we need to encourage our young ones to stay behind, the reality on ground is very harsh. For a lot of people, the reality is harsh. I am telling you, doing startup businesses in Nigeria, they face a lot of challenges. Unemployment is hitting the roof, insecurity is there, access to health fast, and so many other things. So it's not really a situation where, oh, you have everything you want in the country, why are you still doing this? For most Nigerians, it's the current situation. 30, 40 years ago, it wasn't like this. Then people, the highest you do is you go abroad for scholarship, and in the moment you're done with your education, you come back home, because the situation at home was conducive for a lot of people. So it's better here nor there. We need to balance this. A lot of leaders, what kind of leadership, just like you said, do we want for Africa? Some people have even argued that democracy is not even an African thing, that the average African does not believe in democratic values. But I don't think that is true.
I don't believe that democracy is not an African thing. It may not be the democracy.
Yes, the Western kind of
the Western kind of democracy. But we have always been democratic.
Yeah.
Even before the advent of the Western designed democracy. That is one thing. And secondly, I will not advocate that our youth japa. No, I will still not. Yes, if you have a skill or you are well trained, for example, almost all our good doctors have left the shores of this country.
And nurses.
And they are making fortunes elsewhere. It is in a way good, because at the end of the day, the diaspora remittances is something across what they will have learned. Because if eventually they come back, they are super qualified.
And some of them are coming back.
In their choosing profession. That is a flip side. But a situation whereby you neither have a profession nor skill, or better still, you are barely educated, and you feel that the moment you ship yourself to Europe, then your fortune has changed. It is not necessary. Do you know that some people, they even go through the Mediterranean, Atlantic, and quite many are died, perished.
True.
So we need to really look at this thing very, very well, with a view to understanding where we stand on this issue. Like I mentioned, I will plead with our leaders to make the continent conducive, to make the atmosphere conducive for the youth to do something worthwhile with their lives.
All right, Mr. Salami. You can join the conversation. The phone lines are still open. 0903 2229797. That's 0903 2229797. Or you can call us on 0818 2222205. All right, Mr. Salami, still staying with the Guardian newspaper. One dead as Ngige escapes attack on convoy, another injured. A lady who was caught videoing gunmen dressed in police and army camouflage attacking the convoy of the former governor of Anambra State, Dr. Chris Ngige, is feared dead. The lady who reportedly came out of a hairdressing salon died on the spot after she was spotted capturing the incident with her phone yesterday. It was learned the gunman ran into the former governor's convoy along Nkpo Nobe Road in Idemili North local government area of the state and opened fire, prompting return fire from security operatives in the convoy. According to a source, a police officer and a civilian who own a shop were also injured during the gunman's attack. Mr. Salam.
Lawrence, how do we situate this again? How? The violent activities and precisely what do we do? Just day before yesterday, Mr. President declared a state of emergency on security nationwide and put the security agencies on red alert. And 2 days after, we are where we are. Not only on Ngige's convoy, something happened in Niger State yesterday again. Honestly, I think there is the need for we Nigerians to ask necessary questions. I keep on saying it, that all the non-state actors and attackers or unknown gunmen, unknown quote and unquote, because they are not ghosts, are from amongst us. Be it as it may, they did not drop from heaven. Some people helped them in their activities. They left a place. They were or are in a vehicle. The vehicle was fueled. The gun came from somewhere. Lawrence, unless the community own security, unless every one of us believe that security is not the exclusive preserve of the government, up till then, we'll still be seeing what we are seeing. What we are saying is this: we should be concerned. We as Nigerians should be concerned. We should volunteer credible information. The security agencies cannot do much without useful information coming from the people. It is when we agree that yes, we want peace and we want to live and sleep with our eyes closed that we can achieve it. But I believe we can do it.
Yeah, I also believe we can do that. So, and it's a very sad incident. Unfortunately, that young lady lost her life. Yes, when we say that when you see something, do something, it's not at the detriment of your life. We need to be careful. I don't know. I don't want to blame her. She's dead now. It's of no point. But going forward, as citizens, we need to be careful. Your life comes first. Preservation of your life first before you do anything. If you want to get information, make sure that the environment is safe before you do that. You don't need to put your life at risk going forward at the end of the day. I know maybe she acted on impulse and trying to capture the moment, maybe so as to help track the criminals, but unfortunately, that cost her life.
It's unfortunate that she died in the process. What I will suggest or what I will implore our people to do is to apply wisdom.
Exactly.
Yeah, so rest in peace.
Amen. All right, Mr. Salami, to the Punch newspaper now. Safe School project stalls in 30 states as abductions rise. Despite recurring attacks on schools across the country, 30 states have yet to implement the federal government's Safe School initiative. This is from the Punch newspaper. The Safe School initiative was launched in May 2014 after the Chibok abduction, with an initial $10 million pledge and later a multi-donor trust fund coordinated with the United Nations to protect education from attacks. Since then, Nigeria has signed the Safe School Declaration, ratified in 2019, and hosted 4th Global Conference in Abuja, while also adopting a national policy on safety, security, and violence-free schools in 2021. The failure of the authorities to implement the initiative has further exposed schools to attack discouraging many children from enrolling and increasing the number of out-of-school children, particularly in the north. Mr. Salami, this is a very detailed report by the Punch newspaper. Why are states not embracing this initiative?
You see, I always tell myself that why is it that we leave undone things that we should do and only do things that are not the priority? Look, if only we appreciate the unintended consequences of not adopting or signing on to the Safe
School Initiative.
Do you know that with what is happening now, the school enrollment will drop?
Unfortunately so.
Not only that, parents will not encourage their children to go to school, especially in the northern part of Nigeria, where we already have a problem of out-of-school children and out-of-school girls too. In actual fact, if only we understand the consequences of what is happening, we will not have toyed with the destiny of our words, and we will have embraced the Safe School Initiative. It is not too late.
It's certainly not too late, Mr. Salami, and as we keep saying on this show, if only we are a country of data, we will be amazed. Not only that, we will be shocked, we will be scared when we look at the outcome of what it means to shut schools, even for 1 week. You know what that means, and that's why I saw the story which relates to education. Federal government, states must provide free basic education, court rules. Justice Daniel Osiago of the Federal High Court in Lagos has ruled that the federal government, the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory have a legal obligation to provide free, compulsory and universal basic education for every Nigerian child of primary and junior secondary school age. The judgment was delivered in a suit filed by human rights lawyer Femi Falana and Hawa Mustafa, who sued for themselves and on behalf of the Alliance on Surviving COVID and Beyond. The federal government and state were listed as respondent. And the judge said any state that elects to participate must comply strictly with Section 11(2) by contributing 50% counterpart funds before drawing from the universal basic education, the judge said. He added that failure to access the federal block grant does not per se amount to illegality as directed. The court also addressed whether applicants possess local, but these are just details. The trust of the matter is that the states, the federal government and other tiers of government owe that responsibility to Nigerian children.
Well, let us praise and appreciate what some human rights lawyers are doing, especially the infant terrible, the inimitable Femi Falana is doing this for humanity. I am sure that Femi Falana SAN has all it takes to take care of his wards. That is if they are still in school.
He's not even paying school fees again, at least not for his biological children.
You see, but for humanity, they are humane. And I don't think any sensible human being with blood running through his vein will deny the youth access to education. Whether you like it or not, Baba Obafemi Awolowo did to the Western region what I expect our present day leaders to do, even better. Unfortunately, they are not even thinking about doing it at all. Despite the fact that we have come to realize that education is the leveler, that education is is the only opportunity that could give the children of the hewers of food, of wood, and fetchers of water a good head start. Florence, I don't think that quite many of our leaders see things the way we see it. Or they have just chosen to be, quote unquote, unconscionable.
And you see, Mr. Salami, I was very impressed by that judgment because it emphasized the basic education. You know, we normally say that if you miss it at your primary and secondary school stage, you've lost it. No matter no matter the university you attend, if the foundation is weak, no matter what you do, you cannot get. That's why sometimes you see some people who call themselves PhD holders, some are professors, and when they open their mouth, you begin to doubt and say, wait a minute, is this real? It's because the foundation was missing.
The formative years.
Yes.
Is very critical.
And we need to pay attention to it. Any nation that is comfortable with secondary school dropouts, people who are waiting for admission into university, to be teachers of their children, because you want to pay 20,000 or 25. Go around a lot of these private schools, around the city centers. I'm not talking about the big ones. The average private school, secondary school, and see the quality of teachers they have there. Young children who are waiting for admission, they don't have anything to do at home. Oh yeah, come, teach English. Oh yeah, come, teach geography. They just give them subjects. And those are the kind of people teaching your children, laying the foundation, and everyone is happy.
When you hand over the future of your children to mediocres, what do you get? I am surprised when a professor opened his mouth and said he have. I looked at him once.
Don't go there.
I looked at him and I said that, oh my God, what a professor.
It's sad. All right, Mrs. Salami, let's look at the story, which I found very embarrassing. 50 Nigerians arrested in India drug bust. No fewer than 50 Nigerians have been arrested in one of India's largest coordinated crackdowns on transnational narcotic networks. They are believed to be linked to a sprawling drug distribution and laundering syndicate spread across several major cities in India. According to a report on Indian news agency, the operation was led by the Delhi police in collaboration with the police Eagle unit. It was reported that months of intelligence gathering culminated in days of simultaneous raids across Delhi, leading officers to dismantle key layers of a cartel involving meth and cocaine across India. According to the report, investigation revealed that the cartel maintained an extensive customer base using encrypted communication and delivery method. I'm looking for the data now. Okay, the report, investigators have identified 2,000 individuals who were supplied drugs through couriers and dead drop methods. The operation, which involved months of intelligence gathering, culminated with the arrest of 50 Nigerian nationals in Delhi. That's what I was looking for. Mr. Salami, in just one fell swoop, 50 Nigerians in one country. This is... How do you begin to analyze this?
The damage to our reputation can only be imagined. While we are struggling to give our country a good image, you can only imagine what Abike Dabiri Irewa is doing and going through. And yet, some unpatriotic Nigerians who do not see any good in doing legitimate business, but trying to cut corners, all in the name of trying to make money, so to speak. But Lawrence, do you think, what do you think we should do to these people? And there are a few bad eggs, because this is not who we are. Definitely not. Nigerians, we are good people. There are so many Nigerians who are doing fantastic job elsewhere, and they are making this country proud. They are breaking new grounds in whatever sector. In their choosing profession, is it in medicine? Is it in law? Is it in engineering, architecture, even in creative arts? Name it. Yet, quite a few bad eggs keep on damaging the reputation of this country. 50 at one fell swoop. How about Lawrence?
And that's just in one country.
How about Lawrence?
It's sad because, Mr. Salami, I'm glad that you mentioned Honorable Abike Dabre. I remember a few years ago, in fact, not just about maybe like 12, 13 years ago, when I was privileged to be in the delegation of the House of Representatives Committee on Diaspora to Brazil. And in one of the places we visited was a prison to see Nigerians who were convicted of drug offenses. And when we finished there and we had a meeting with the officials of the hospital, of the prison, and they brought out data. And we understood then that in that particular country, 90% of Nigerian convicts in that country were from a particular state. And you begin to wonder what is really happening. And because it's a serious business. When you see, remember a few years ago when we had the killings in somewhere in the country from South Africa, they said the crisis started in South Africa and they now dragged them. It was during this period, during the Christmas period like this, and you begin to wonder, because if you know the damage done by this group in terms of money laundering, in terms of pumping illicit money to do other things, bribery and so many other things. So that's why sometimes when I look at Buba Marwa, I don't envy that man. You know what he and his boys are going through.
It's really, really unfortunate that a particular section of this country, people from a particular section of this country, are more. Let's leave it at that.
I think it's better, Mr. Salami. Let's look at this story before we go. Code of Conduct Tribunal 6 judges retirement age at 75. The Code of Conduct Tribunal has proposed a new retirement age of 75 for its judges and 65 for other court staff. And May Nasara Umar, who is the chairman of the CCT, made the presentation on Thursday during a public hearing on a bill to repeal the Code of Conduct Bureau and Tribunal Act. Mr. Salame.
Well, you see, judges mature with age. You could remember the age of Lord Denny. You see, my position is this. I think in as much as they remain sane and they are still fit as a fiddle, they should be allowed to continue. There is a caveat. I will not agree to 75. Rather, I would rather emphasize fitness. And this is objective. Because nature will always take its course. It is simple. But I must confess that in some professions, you mature with age. And we cannot just throw them into the dustbin of retirement simply because they have attained certain age that was just designed or put there by us. It does not necessarily mean that they are still not fit to continue. Like our friends will say that retired but not
Tired.
tired. The question is not whether you are tired or not. Are you still productive?
Okay, Mrs. Salami. Well, for me, I think I would not subscribe to this proposal. 75, and before we know it, we'll be calling for 80. Before you know it, you'll be calling for 90. Oh, come off it. These are men who have put in a lot. When you retire, it doesn't mean that you're going to go and stay at home. In other countries of the world, you write books, you give talks, you mentor young people. There are a lot of things to do. What about the young ones? Let them also grow. 70 is even bad enough. By 60, anybody who has been in active duty should take a pause and enjoy himself, travel around the world, have fun for the rest of the remaining part of your life. What is this penchant for remaining in office till you drop dead? Mr. Salami, if you know what an average judge goes through during a sitting of a particular case, then you want a 75-year-old man to go through that? Abba. Let's give our young ones. They too need to be judges. They too need to rise to the Supreme Court too now.
You don't need to remove them because the youth have to rise. The thing is this, there are some professions, there are some exceptions, especially in some professions, especially law. You see, the truth is that even some people are advocating that law as a course should be a second degree.
That's a different argument.
I'm coming. I'm just telling you why I, as a person, feel that that is a good one. Why? Because you mature with age. You do mature with age in some professions. Like you rightly pointed out that nature will take its course. No doubt about that. But I still believe that there are some exceptions to every rule. And if
Mr. Salami, you see, at the base of all this argument is because we have come to see government's job as the last alternative. If you run your chamber as a lawyer and you have younger ones in your chamber, Mr. Salami, at 75, will you still be active? We know a lot of prominent lawyers. By the time they are 60, 65, they cool off and they let younger ones grow. They sit back and mentor them.
We as journalists, do we retire?
Yes, the ones that plant their life very well, they do. We have colleagues who are traveling all over the world, who are enjoying their life, who are not inactive. I'm talking about being inactive, being in the newsroom. What are you doing in the newsroom at 75, 80? You say because there are exceptions to this job. Come off it, man. You can be mentors. You can be mentor to people. In this day and age, you can have master classes for a lot of younger ones. You can do things at your own pace, but not wake up at 8 a.m. and go to the court and sit down and listen to arguments till 4 at 75. Mr. Salami.
There could be a amicus curiae.
All right, whatever it is, friends of the court, well, it's allowed. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Salami. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you.
And don't forget, by your own admission, it's Friday, and you will know what that means. Thank you so much. In anticipation, as we move to the newsroom.
I am teachable.
All right, that's our package of the show today. The program returns on Monday, 7 a.m. bright and early. My name is Lawrence Omoiti. Enjoy the rest of your day.